apologize right now that from now on you're always going to look at the number 4. Now, the story behind this clock is a love story. This clock was given by Jefferson Davis' father, Samuel Davis, who was an American Revolutionary soldier, who gave it to the future President of the Confederacy when he married the daughter of the future President of the United States. Oh, it just gives me goosebumps, another history behind the clock. Now, as we go into the ladies' parlor, that marble top table was a wedding gift from Zachary Taylor to Jefferson when he married his baby girl, Sarah. Now, Jefferson had that clock up at the little White House in Montgomery, Alabama. He had war plans spread out on it when he notified his father that he had fallen off the balcony and had passed away. I'm glad you took a picture. You guys are welcome to take as many photographs as you like. There's no flash. Oh my goodness! Have you been here before?
No, I've never.
Excuse me.
Oh! Okay, well, I'm sorry you can't hear the speech, darling. So, if you notice the harp, that is Miss Sarah Dorsey. She challenges Winnie to learn how to play it. Now, Winnie is up for the challenge. She already knows how to play the piano, violin, and guitar. If you notice, over the Knabe casket piano is a portrait of Miss Sarah Dorsey. Now, as we look in that room, the chairs with arms, those are gentlemen's chairs for the obvious reason, ladies, that we can't fit into them with our hoops and our petticoats. Chairs without arms are the ladies' chairs. Remember, ladies back in the day were very petite. Their average height was 4'10". They wore whalebone corsets. They couldn't lean back in their chairs. Does anyone know what the little stool is called in front of the harp?
A chair?
Little Miss Muffet sat on it's a 13-pound tuffet. They would bring it over to the ladies so they could put their feet on it so they wouldn't fall out of their chairs. Now the picture over the fireplace, that is Jefferson Davis. It was a gift to him when he was 81. He's holding in his hands The Rise and Fall of the Confederate Government. It's a 2-volume set that took him 3 years to write. He wrote it all down here in this little cottage. Now, it's on my bucket list to read. Amazon has a special where it's a free download to your Kindle. That's the only way I read anymore. Jefferson Davis passes away that December. Now that I've shown you some pretty of our house, I'm going to show you a little bit of ugly. Now, our house is over 177 years old. It was designed with horsehair plaster for the ceiling. Now, they actually take that horsehair, mix it with the plaster, and shove it up into the cypress. All of repairs from Katrina have been accomplished, but that horsehair plaster is not designed to withstand the vibrations from Highway 90, airplanes and helicopters, things like that. So our issue is that we are a national landmark, and so the same way it's originally placed is the way it has to be returned. Now, when we have work done, the Historical Society actually comes and inspects at different phases. We actually have a repair done over here in the ladies' parlor, and the gentleman did a great job on the repair, but he used tape along the antique paintwork. So when the tape was removed, he takes off most of the antique paint, doing more damage than he did on the repair. My philosophy is, he did a great job on the repair. You know he's never used tape again. For him to work. Now, this smear is called a petticoat check smear. I love the smear, y'all, because you can't stand in a chair and check your petticoats at home. That's why I used to work to make sure nobody's showing it. Now, this sideboard is actually miscellaneous, but when she loses the house, she can't get anyone to move it because it weighs over 700 pounds. Come over here and help me real quick. When you come by, lay your hands gently at the back of your hand on that Italian marble. How does it feel? Is it hot or is it cold? It's cold. It's always chilled. Even in the heat of the day, they would take a silver platter and put their hors d'oeuvres on there, and it would be chilled for the party. Down here, this is called the cellarette. Same Italian marble. They would chill their wine and their champagne. Now, it also has a little lazy Farina. Now, where Farina is 18, Jefferson Davis is 35, but it's a match made in heaven. They're married, and Miss Farina stays by his side until he passes away. Now, Miss Farina loves to travel in Europe. She saw these round ottomans in Paris. She had them made and designed for her. You can actually see them in this photograph. Now, like most women, when we prepare for a party, we want evidence. She took this picture. The painting over the sideboard, that is called La Bella. It was painted in 1525. Miss Farina purchases it from a Contessa because it reminds her of her baby girl, Winnie. As we come into this bedroom, there's a portrait of Winnie leaning against the pocket doors. This is when she was the Mardi Gras queen in New Orleans. The jewels and scepters are still in a museum in New Orleans. Now, on the facing couch is a picture of Jefferson Davis' oldest daughter, Margaret, and her husband, Joel Addison Hayes. Margaret is the only child to get married and have children. This is called the Margaret Hayes Memorial Bedroom. Not because Margaret ever stayed in the house, but this is the actual furniture Jefferson purchases for her wedding when he can't purchase Beauvoir. Now, poor Jefferson Davis, she comes to him and says, Dad, why did you buy this big furniture? You know we're renting a small little boarding house. He said, do you mind if I store it down here in the visitor's cottage? Well, she visits her furniture so much, they changed the name of the visitor's cottage to the Hayes Cottage. We still call it that today. The baby doll in the chair is over 160 years old. That is Miss Farina's passed down to Margaret. The fireplace has a faux marble painting technique done on it. It's actually made of wood. My favorite portrait is the one that's above it. That is James Davis, Jefferson Davis' mama. Now, you can tell by her smile, she has a unique sense of humor because you never smile in portraits back then. She had 10 children. That last child, when they were born, she said, we are done, finished, no more. In fact, she named that last child the middle name, Finney. Well, Jefferson Davis does not appreciate his mother's humor, so he refuses to go by Jefferson Finney Davis until he gets to Congress, and there's another Jefferson Davis up there. So he chooses the political name, Jefferson F. Davis. Now, everybody always... I feel like Sheldon's in my spot.
Sorry. I'm trying to stay back. I've been through this tour numerous times. So.
Oh my gosh. He's like checking my data. Now, everybody always asks us if we are owned by the state of Mississippi. We are not. They're always wondering when they're going to take away our statues. We are independently owned by a nonprofit organization, the Mississippi Division of the Sons of Confederacy. We actually have a reciprocal when people have statues and they're getting that pressure to have them taken down. We will take them. On the corner of the property is a statue of Jefferson Davis, his natural son, and his adopted son, Jim Limber. Now, Jim Limber is a black boy that was actually saved by Miss Farina. He was being beaten by a neighbor. The parents had died and they had just given him away. Miss Farina says, this isn't happening. She takes him in her carriage, brings him home to Jefferson Davis, and introduces him as his adopted son. Now, Jefferson Davis goes right down, registers him as a free man. He is no longer a slave. When Jefferson is captured by the North, they actually used him as propaganda. They dress him in bloody clothes and say that he was beaten. He was a family member. He was going to school, played with the other children in the family. It's just a shame the things that they did to discredit Jefferson. Now, Jefferson Davis, when he passes away, Miss Farina goes to New York. She's writing for Joseph Pulitzer for his magazine. Now, when she inherits the house when Winnie dies, she is offered $90,000 for the house, but she declines because they want to tear it down and build a hotel. Someone puts her in connection with the Sons of the Confederacy, and that's where we come in. She sells them the house for $10,000 with two stipulations. One, we'll take care of her Confederate boys, and two, remember her husband. In 1903, the first Confederate veteran moves into the house. We service 280 veterans, their wives and widows at a time. They stay embarrassed around the house. These two rooms are nurses' stations. In 1957, the last two widows moved out into a nursing home, and we officially become a museum. Now, in the gentleman's parlor, you're going to notice those bookcases. Those were built by Jefferson Davis, similar to the Congressional Library, except for the red material he hangs to protect the books from humidity, sunlight, and dust. Now, the veterans are borrowing the books, so they come in and they number the books with Dewey Decimal System, which goes basically from 1 to 9. But as you look around, you're going to notice there are 10 cabinets. In this corner, like right over here in the room, there's a little bitty 10th cabinet. Now, after gentlemen have a really good, yummy dinner, and they come into the gentleman's parlor, what are they going to do? That's where they kept their cigars and their booze, was in that 10th cabinet. Now, I had an 11-year-old that hollered out dessert. I have to sit. I gotta have chocolate cake and a cigar. Now, over the fireplace, that up north is called an admiral's mirror or fisheye. So down here in the south, we call that a chaperone's mirror. That way we can go and have gentlemen caller come in. Mom could be in the next room keeping an eye on baby girl, because gentlemen, we know it's the ladies that cause all the mischief. Now, the two pictures are of Jefferson Davis and his beautiful wife, Verena, on their wedding day. The clock was a gift from President Franklin Pierce when Jefferson was the Secretary of War. We have to remember that Jefferson was a Mississippi representative, Mississippi senator twice, the Secretary of War, the President of the Confederacy. He was a war hero. He had fought in the Mexican-American War alongside his father-in-law, Zachary Taylor, as a commander. He was shot at the Battle of Buena Vista, returned home as a wounded veteran. Jefferson also designed the Freedom Dome of the White House, the wings of the White House, the work on the Pentagon, the aqueducts that are still in Washington, D.C. He's on the panel for the Smithsonian Institute that gets started. He's an amazing man, but the true man Jefferson Davis is the man that loves that little partner's table. It is the smallest table in the house. It's the same on the front as it is the back. And the reason why he loves that table, when they don't have company, he can have an intimate dinner with his wife. That is Jefferson Davis. We're going to actually flip out the back now and take a look at his bedroom.
Can we donate money in that?
Yeah, we'll put some in there before we leave.
Okay.
So are you all from the Gulf Coast? Oh.
I didn't even realize these were rooms.
You'll go through like the kids over there, but she'll give you a whole speech once you get that.
I was just
You'll see what
wondering.
he's talking about with his rocking chair and with his bed and how big they were.
I was just wondering why there was nobody. There's not that many beds for everybody. That's all I was
As we
wondering.
come over here, this is Jefferson Davis's bedroom. He chose this bedroom because it has access to the front porch as well as the back porch. Now, as you look in there, on the shaving table is a shaving kit he received when he was 19 and joined the Army. So, the rocking chair is the one he built and designed for himself. It has an elevated seat base, longer armrest, and a taller back to accommodate him. That is under discussion. If you Wikipedia it says he's 5'11" and a half. Books have said anywhere from 6'2", but I read a reporter was interviewing him, and they actually discussed his like haze over his eye. They described him as a slight man, but they never did describe how tall that was. So actually, we've got a picture of him sitting in the rocking chair. So it's the goal of the docent and I, we're going to measure it and see just how tall he really was. I know.
Yeah, it looks like it was you.
So you know, you can't believe Wikipedia. So that's one of our goals to really decide, and they've got his desk mask over there. And I know if CSI can measure someone's arm and figure out how tall they are, we can be able to figure it out.
Do they have locks in the door?
Actually, they never locked the doors in the day because Jefferson Davis had a full massive that protected the property. So they never locked any doors when Jefferson
But
Davis
the locks
was
were
there.
there, like this look newer.
I didn't live that thing. I'm gonna lie to you and say, yeah. But you notice that there's locks that are inside the house that are a little bit different design. So I'm assuming that they were placed there to protect the
Yeah.
antique. So the metal boxes in the bedroom, those are tray warmers. What they would do is put their food in the tray warmer, set it in front of the fireplace in the formal dining room, and it would keep the food hot. If you're invited to come and stay for a week, every morning you wake up, go into the formal dining room, and have a nice hot breakfast. If you stay for 10 days, that 10th morning you wake up, you get a cold shoulder, cold breakfast, time for you to go. Now the picture bathtub. I don't know how an 81-year-old man got in it, let alone got out of it. But in the next room over that, Miss Serena's room, she has a deluxe foot tub that actually has a little shelf she could sit on, take a bucket of water, and dunk on her head.
Yeah.
Now the cane hanging
I need to
on
look
her
through that door
closet
so I can see all the way
she
over
could take
there.
that out to her rose garden,
Yeah,
cut
I
the
did that
flowers,
door.
and make an arrangement. Now Jefferson Davis loved animals. He had horses, he had white peacocks wandering around the property. He had dogs. Miss Winnie had an Irish setter named Joy. Jefferson Davis had a bull mastiff that he inherited from Sarah Dorsey. His name was Traveler. Now Miss Dorsey actually taken him to Europe with her on 2 separate occasions. A man broke into her bedroom and Traveler took care of business and retired permanently. This little white building out here was the kitchen. Why would we put our kitchen out away from the house?
So it doesn't burn down the house.
Blue Doggy, our whole goal was to keep cool, but he's right. Back in the day, it did burn down, so they had to rebuild it. We want to keep that danger away from our home. Now, the covered walkways, that's how they would bring the food in safely, because I have to tell y'all, a traveler's hungry. They're not getting any dinner. They would bring the food up underneath the house to the cold food storage and then into the butler's pantry. Now, have y'all ever had a hush puppy? It's that little ball of cornmeal that's deep-fried. When they walked through, they would have it on the tray, and they would throw it to the lattice work and holler, "Hush, puppy!" And that's a true story of how they were made. Now, the green cistern. That's how we collect water, and the rainwater would run off the roof and into that cistern. Now, up north, they drink that water. But down here in Mississippi, don't y'all drink any standing water. It's full of bugs. We use that water for housekeeping, like to mop the floor. Now, out of the second fence, that's where the artesian well was. Miss Serena was heard to say if she had a little cold water and sugar, she made that best sweet tea in the South. And if you continue out that pathway, that's where our cemetery is. Now, the unknown Confederate soldier is buried out there. We found him with a metal detector by his belt buckle. We know that he was 16 because of the wisdom teeth. His bullet pouch was full. He had never fired a shot. Now, in 1920, the Daughters of the Confederacy made a beautiful archway that was out front. When Katrina came, she pushed one of those casino barges into it and broke it. We repaired it and stuck it over the unknown Confederate soldier. Now, out there, Jefferson Davis' father is also buried. He was originally buried at the Hurricane Plantation in Vicksburg, Mississippi. They sent word to Jefferson Davis that the water table had changed, so he rushes up there to check on his daddy's grave. Now, on the boat ride up there, he contracts bronchitis, and like most men, he refuses to go to the doctor. So they send for Miss Serena. They don't know what to do with him. She rushes up there, takes him on her boat, and takes him to New Orleans. He never makes it home to Beauvoir. He's buried in Metairie, Louisiana for 4 years until he was officially transferred to the Hollywood Cemetery in Richmond, Virginia. Now, we were able to secure his father and move him down here because that water table has changed so much that Hurricane Plantation is now an island, and you can't get to it. Now, as we come to the formal dining room, we removed all those antiques out of the room, but I kind of want to share to you porch hair plaster. So this is the original porch hair plaster. Of course, it's shed by dogs and cats, so they comb it, mix it up with the plaster, and then shove it up there, and you can see where it wedges in underneath the cypress. Now, in the corner, that is the butler's pantry. Above the fireplace, but underneath the mantle, is a mural that was actually painted by Miss Serena. I apologize that it's really dark and difficult to see, but it's a landscape portrait. Now, the next room over is the children's dining room. It looks really small, but you have to remember there's about 6 feet of marble top buffets that are stored in there, so it is a really huge room. Now, you had to be 13 to be able to eat in the adult dining room, but better yet, you had to hold on to adult conversation. If you could not talk politics, you were kicked out and put back to the kiddie table. Now these two buffet cabinets were placed here by Miss Farina. This is natural cypress. It's never been painted or treated. It's always been out here in the environment. You can actually tell the difference between the natural cypress and the faux oak cypress. I actually like the natural that's never been painted or treated a whole lot better. That one held her china work. This one held her canned goods like her pickles and jellies and things like that. Now, when Katrina came, she came in through the front door, came out this back door. Washes out this back porch, but from here over is secure. The bedrooms are safe. But this area, including damaging 30 of the columns, is washed out to the Oyster Bayou. You can actually see on the cabinet where the surge water came up. Remember, we had 18 inches inside the house. Now, if you haven't been to the museum yet, my favorite item is the raincoat Jefferson was wearing when the North captured him. They were spread out negative propaganda that he was dressed like a woman. Y'all know woman would wear that ugly thing. Now, after they capture him, they take him to a prison cell, chain him to his bed. He has 2 armed guards that watch him 24/7. They're not allowed to talk to him. That would drive me plumb crazy. Now, it takes a group of men that's called the Secret Six. They're northern men, including the abolitionists Horace Greeley and a Vanderbilt that collects a $100,000 bond. That's equivalent to $1 million today. They bond Jefferson out. All he wanted was his day in court, and he was denied that because they knew he could prove that he hadn't broken any constitutional laws. He's the only Confederate that loses his citizenship, and he doesn't get it back until 1978 under Jimmy Carter. You know, I've read some of his speeches that he did in Mississippi City. It truly affected him to be a man without a country. It broke his heart, and he died not being a member of a country. He truly loved America. He loved the people of the South, and we really did a disjustice to him. I appreciate y'all coming out and listening to me talk about something I'm passionate about. Your admissions actually help pay for our restorations because it ain't cheap trying to find horsehair plaster. But as you leave today, if you go straight out, that's where our cemetery is. If you haven't been to the schoolhouse, they run a little 20-minute tape. That's great air conditioning, but it's set up in Jefferson's library. And so you can go in there. You can't go into his bedroom, but you can go into where he actually wrote his memoirs. So what you're going to do is take a right at the Green Cistern, take a shortcut through the covered walkway, and do a little U-turn. Now, if you haven't been to the museum yet, it's on the 2nd floor. There's also a library up there above the gift shop. Watch the bottom step. It's a tall one. Go
2 porches.